Hello, my name is AC Walter. I'm a graduate student at Liberty University. I'm getting my master's in education with a specific focus in instructional design and technology. Currently, in my Principles of Design and Management in Educational Technology and Online Learning class, we have been discussing the idea of ethics in the field of instructional design. In this presentation, we will be discussing ethics as it relates to the field of instructional design. This presentation will also give a biblical worldview as it relates to the subject at hand. Before we dive into this presentation, we should understand what ethics are. Santa Clara University has this to say about ethics. Ethics is based on standards of right and wrong that prescribe what humans should and should not do, usually in terms of rights, obligations, benefits to society, fairness, or specific virtues. Many professional fields have ethical codes inside of them that help the individuals who work in a particular field get a clear picture of what would be considered right and wrong in that specific field. The idea of ethics exists in Scripture as well. There are numerous scriptures in the Bible that contain rules and laws that should be used to guide one's actions. 2 Timothy verses 16 through 17 says, "All Scripture is given by inspiration of God and is profitable for doctrine, for reproof, for correction, for instruction in righteousness, that the man of God may be complete, thoroughly equipped for every good work." The field of instructional design has a code of ethics that people in the field can refer to understand the way things should and should not be in professional instructional design settings. This code was developed by the Association for Educational Communication and Technology. The code is broken into 3 sections. Those sections are commitment to the individual, commitment to society, and commitment to the profession. Each section touches on specific ideas that people in the field of instructional design should follow as they work and create content. The first section in the AECT's Code of Ethics is commitment to the individual. This section has 9 indicators that fall under it. Those indicators are: the member 1 shall encourage independent action in an individual's pursuit of learning and shall provide access to varying points of view. 2 shall protect the individual rights of access to materials of varying points of view. 3 shall guarantee to each individual the opportunity to participate in any appropriate program. 4 shall conduct professional business so as to protect the privacy and maintain the personal integrity of the individual. 5 shall follow sound professional procedures for evaluation and selection of materials, equipment, and furniture/carts used to create educational work areas. 6 shall make reasonable efforts to protect the individual from conditions harmful to health and safety, including harmful conditions caused by technology itself. 7 shall promote current and sound professional practices in the use of technology in education. 8 shall, in the design and selection of any educational program or media, seek to avoid content that reinforces or promotes gender, ethnic, racial, or religious stereotypes. Shall seek to encourage the development of programs and media that emphasize the diversity of our society as a multicultural community. And 9 shall refrain from any behavior that would be judged to be discriminatory, harassing, insensitive, or offensive, and thus is in conflict with valuing and promoting each individual's integrity, rights, and opportunity within a diverse profession and society. These 9 indicators can be broken down into 3 categories to further assist instructional design professionals when thinking about this section. Those categories are technology and resources, diversity, and personal rights. Excuse me, my apologies, I have a cough. A story from the Bible that I would like to look at that correlates for me with this section comes from the book of John, chapter 8, verses 3 through 11. In this story, the Pharisees bring forth to Jesus a woman who is caught in the act of adultery. They bring her to the Lord in a very embarrassing, humiliating way. Jesus then teaches the individuals ready to stone this woman a valuable lesson when he says, "He who is without sin can throw the first stone." No one can throw a stone. He then tells the woman to go and sin no more. This passage to me shows immense commitment to an individual. Jesus handled this matter in a very ethical way. He ensured that in the way he taught the woman, that he did it in an appropriate way that was right for her. While the story has nothing to do with technology, it aligns well with the basic ideas of the 9 indicators in the first section of the AECT's Code of Ethics. I'll be continuing to use this story at times in the remainder of this presentation as well. The second section in the AECT's Code of Ethics is commitment to society. This section comes along with 6 indicators. Those are: the member 1 shall honestly represent the institution or organization with which that person is affiliated and shall take adequate precautions to distinguish between personal and institutional or organizational views. 2. Shall represent accurately and truthfully the facts concerning educational matters in direct and indirect public expressions. 3. Shall not use institutional or associational privileges for private gain. 4. Shall accept no gifts or favors that might impair or appear to impair professional judgment, or to offer any favor, service, or thing to value to attain special advantage. 5. Shall engage in fair and equitable practices with those rendering service to the profession. And 6. Shall promote positive and minimize negative environmental impacts of educational technologies. These indicators can be grouped into 3 categories as well. Those categories are representation, personal gain, and professional service. Returning to the story from the book of John, we can see in this moment that the Lord is being honest and forthright with everyone in that situation. He doesn't seek any personal gain. In that moment, he could have easily allowed all of the Pharisees to stone the adulterous woman to gain potential respect from some of those individuals, but rather he stayed true to the tenets of his words and teachings in that moment. This is in line with the ideas and guidelines in the Commitment to Society section. The final section in the AECT's code is Commitment to the Profession. This final section includes 10 indicators. Those are: the member, 1, shall accord just and equitable treatment to all members of the profession in terms of professional rights and responsibilities, including being actively committed to providing opportunities for culturally and intellectually diverse points of view in publications and conferences. 2, shall not use corrective means or promise special treatment in order to influence professional decisions of colleagues. 3, shall avoid commercial exploitation of the person's membership in the association. 4, shall strive continually to improve professional knowledge and skill to make available to patrons and colleagues the benefit of that person's professional attainments. 5, shall present honestly personal professional qualifications and the professional qualifications and evaluations of colleagues, including giving accurate credit to those whose work and ideas are associated with publishing in any form. 6, shall conduct professional business through proper channels. 7, shall delegate assigned tasks to qualified personnel. Qualified personnel are those who have appropriate training or credentials and or who can demonstrate competency in performing the task. 8, shall inform users of the stipulations and interpretations of the copyright law and other laws affecting the profession and encourage compliance. 9, shall observe all laws relating to or affecting the profession, shall report without hesitation illegal or unethical conduct of fellow members of the profession to the AECT Professional Ethics Committee, shall participate in professional inquiry when requested by the association, and 10, shall conduct research using professionally accepted guidelines and procedures, especially as they apply to protecting participants from harm. There are 3 groups as well that these indicators are broken down to, and those are professional interactions, research and dissemination, and responsibilities related to copyright. I think the story from the book of John that we've been discussing in the previous slides finds itself fitting in here as well. All of the interactions that Jesus had with all parties in this situation were appropriate. He was able to inform people of the ideas that come along with being Christ-like, and there was no special treatment for the Pharisees and or the adulterous woman. Those are just a few of the ideas from this section that the story fits into. I hope that this presentation offers a better understanding of what ethics are and how they relate to the field of instructional design. I also hope that you see how in our practices, a good way to make sure that we're being ethical is to observe how Christ was in situations and we model ourselves after him. We're always striving to be Christ-like in our beliefs, and that needs to show in all things that we do. And it can also help us in all things that we do. It can help us be ethical. Also, I do apologize for my cough and the sound of my voice. I have come down with a slight cold. So at times I get a little backed up in coffee. And here are the references. I really encourage you guys to look into these to get a little bit of a better idea of what ethics are. Thank you guys so much.